The 8th outgoing government administration headed by Prime Minister Thongloun Sisoulith has declared its last mission and outlined crisis prevention measures for its successor. Detailing the work plan for March at its final meeting on Thursday, the 5-year term cabinet for a continued action to further modernize the revenue collection system in order to maximize potential revenue streams. The instructions came after the Ministry of Finance announced the implementation of the Lao National Single Window, or NSW, a computerized system that simplifies and streamlines the import, export, and transit of all goods and cargo at international borders and airports in Laos. Chaired by Prime Minister Thongloun, the meeting also ordered action to expedite the reforms of state enterprises, seeking to make them profitable after years of loss-making operations by most. The Cabinet also stressed the need for continued action to improve the business environment and performance of the one-stop business registration in order to attract more investment. The meeting was told to accelerate rollout of the 8 measures of government has adopted to bolster the economy. In addition, the relevant sectors were told to continue efforts to stabilize currency to ensure that fluctuations in currency exchange rates were manageable. Meeting participants were also instructed to regulate the price of goods on sale in markets to prevent traders and merchants from increasing prices arbitrarily and unreasonably. Prices have risen significantly in recent months, putting an added burden in consumers who are already struggling to cope with the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Living costs have risen, with product prices increasing by 8.3% on average, according to the socioeconomic impact, risk and vulnerability assessment of COVID-19 on children, adolescents, and women in Laos, released recently by the Center of Development Policy Research. The Cabinet also asked the relevant authorities to take immediate action to address transport-related issues in order to speed up the transport of goods. The National Task Force for COVID-19 Prevention and Control was told to work with the Ministry of Health to intensify enforcement of COVID-19 prevention and control measures and further steps to prevent seasonal diseases. The Cabinet told all central and local state departments to strictly comply with Prime Minister's Decree No. 9 on austerity with regards to state spending. The Cabinet outlined an agenda aimed at tackling current financial and economic difficulties, calling it a national agenda, which required all sectors of society to participate in the efforts to fulfill its stated goals. To accomplish the agenda and prevent a crisis, the meeting outlined measures indicated in the draft 5-year budget plan for 2021 to 2025, which will be implemented by the next government administration. The measures include modernization of the revenue collection system in a bid to plug loopholes that allows budget leaks, strict enforcement of planning and financial disciplines, prioritization of state investment, and intensified action to fulfill the national austerity policy. The draft budget plan will be submitted to the upcoming inaugural session of the National Assembly's new legislature for approval. A national election took place recently to elect members of the Assembly's 9th legislature and the 2nd legislature of Provincial Capital People's Councils. The 2 chambers will hold the inaugural session after the election results are announced. The National Assembly inaugural session will elect the new leaders of many state bodies, the state president and prime minister, and approve a new cabinet.